If you want a little look into what young Japanese street life in the early 70s, or really 80s and 90s also look like in an animated form, Bousou Sengokushi is the way to go. Technically, this is supposed to be a modern-day rendition of the Sengoku Period, which is the 15th and 16th century Civil War years in Japan. But really, this felt more like what would have been contemporary urban youth culture in Japan at that time. This story specifically is located in the Kanto region. You may recognize this aesthetic from Initial D, as it's based in the same area. Beautiful region and my first pick of choice when I selected my desired area submitting my application to teach English out there. Anyways, in this show you got all kind of gang wars, unities between gangs, leaders interfering in the madness, violence over a territorial dominance tug of war happening, and all kind of other things you wish would have been licensed in North America in the 90s and 2000s, as opposed to majority just being trashy fantasy stuff. But anyway, rants over on that one. This one, guys, goddamn. Bousou Sengokushi is quite entertaining to say the least. From the early biker scenes to the dope opening song you're hearing now to the actual story. This is cool for someone like me that doesn't know and hasn't studied too much into the retro Japan life as far as gangs and crime and all that Yakuza stuff, Delinquent stuff. Though we all know what it looks like from certain characters or groups in anime we've seen and the style and the vibe they carry. You know, people like Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho, right? Watching this made me feel a little more in the loop on what that lifestyle was all about. The first episode focuses on Shimada, who's pretty much the alpha of the pack, leader and shot caller of our story, and it focuses on his early days where he aspires to apex the entire Kanto region. And that was where the inception of the group Spectre comes into play. Now, Shimada, he's one of them dudes where when he comes around, people tighten up. When he speaks, people listen. When he said he wanted to take over, he wasn't joking. He made an order that demanded for any other gang his dude see to be forced into absorbing into Spectre, and that's exactly what started happening. But it was done in a decently tasteful way where a fair fight goes down, and Shimada ends up whooping the guy's ass and letting him know that he's now down with Spectre. And even one guy requested that his group's name not be changed since it's been around for ages, and Shimada grants his wish and says it's cool. Right before taking his woman though. There's a couple of guys in Spectre that are nothing to be played with, and they all put in work in their own respects. By the halfway point of the first episode, damn near all of the Kanto region is taken over. So it's time to get on to grander accomplishments. How about a giant rally which would land him street and media notoriety across Japan? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll leave it there because we got another episode to discuss, but let's just say things get real. It's the last 10 minutes of the first OVA where you start to see how this can translate between the Civil War of the 1600s or today. Today being the 70s or the 80s, 90s-ish. Anyway, the leadership gets screwed up, so people begin turning their backs on Spectre. And now there's war again for the Kanto region. Police start getting involved, and that takes us into the second episode. Which I don't know what was going on because I watched it raw and I couldn't find it subbed anywhere on the internet. So that's that. I don't think this needed any better art or animation as it's up to standard for its time, and exactly where it stands is perfect for the tone it's trying to set. It's a darker retro Japan world where gangs are on the loose and it didn't need to be all shiny and pretty to get the point across. There's a lot going on, man, in this that keeps you focused. The cruising, the disco, the fighting, the politics, street rallies. With the fighting, I appreciated the fact that it really put basic hand fighting and minuscule weapons. Those are the only things used here. No guns. People fought the old-fashioned way, and it was displayed here impeccably. Shit, a couple Molotovs even get chucked. When I try and explain Bousou in layman's terms, this is pretty much testosterone morphed into an anime. It gives you the good and bad of gang culture. It shows how it can affect family, like a mother's impression of her son's friends and the son feeling like mom doesn't understand him, but his boys do. Man, I don't know what to say about this. This is actually now one of my favorite OVAs of all time. I'm serious. Another certified hidden gem. Please, Bousou Sengokushi, check it out. Like the video, comment down below what y'all want to see next. I'm out. Thanks for watching Anime Back When.